All right. Well, hello, everyone. Thank you for coming to our webinar today, using AI to get the job. I am here with, I'm Christy Graham, and I'm here with my colleague, Cliff Guerin. So I'm going to go ahead and let you take it away and introduce us, Cliff.
Hey, great. Again, thank you for joining us today for this really great presentation. I am a senior career advisor here with WGU's Career and Professional Development Center. And as Christy introduced, she is also one of our advisors here on the team. And because AI is so prevalent today and it's here to stay, folks, so it's not going to go anywhere. It is integrated into everything. And if you've been watching the news, you still hear a lot about AI. And I don't know if you're an iPhone, Apple user, but you know that the newest variations of the iPhone and the Apple Watch will incorporate AI into those, the new technology seamlessly. So just an example of where it's touching every part of our lives. So this is one area for you as job seekers, or if you're just trying to stay up to date with current technologies when it comes to job searching, is why we designed and are presenting this presentation in various elements of the job search experience and process. So hopefully there will be some tips here that you can use and to make your job search experience a little better, a little easier, maybe a little bit more fun. All right. Now, we want to make sure that you know that if you need to get up and walk around, or if you're at work and you're being called away for a moment, that's perfectly fine. Please take care of yourself. If you need a bio break, you need to take a little break, perfectly fine, because we are recording this and everybody will get a copy of the recording after we finish. WebEx does its thing. We take it and we make that into a YouTube video and we send it out to everybody who registered. So if you need to step away and you're afraid of missing something, don't worry about it. You're going to get a copy at least within the next couple of days, maybe sooner, but you will have that in your student email box. So make sure you're keeping an eye on that as well. We do want to do an interactive poll during the presentation, get the pulse of where people are, what's your experience been, also a way for you to participate and have this a little bit more interactive experience for you. And later, if you have questions, we'll have questions and answers here today. But if you have something more specific or more tailored to your needs, you can always contact us at careers@wgu.edu. And there are other ways to connect with us as well. So really very glad to have you let's keep the conversation going for that. And of course, we're going to be using the chat version of our Q&A, not the Q&A window, but the chat window when we get to that part of our presentation. And speaking of our presentation, this is our agenda. We're going to talk about, again, what is AI? How do we understand it today? What is the role in our lives and specifically in job searching? What are the ethical uses of AI? How are we to be responsible for using this new and emerging technology, as well as the benefits that it can offer us? We'll talk about certain tools that will be specific to job searching, and we'll do some demonstrations just to see exactly how it works in the background.
Great. All right. Thank you so much, Cliff, for kicking us off. So I just kind of want to, before we get into really the meat of the presentation, I do kind of want to set a little bit of a stage for, if you don't know what AI is. This is just a kind of a generic definition, and it's really all about, basically computers learning how to act like humans, reason, and make decisions, just like we do. So it is an emerging technology, but it absolutely is revolutionizing the job search process, and that is for both the like the recruiting side of things as well as the candidate side. Of course, recruiters have been using AI tools actually for decades. They use automatic tracking systems or applicant tracking systems, excuse me. So now we're getting a taste of what it's like to use technology, and it is certainly become very common, especially with open AI in the last couple of years. There are a lot of chatbots and scheduling tools that AI can use to help with the time consuming tasks that frees up a lot of space for recruiters and also for applicants. Now, overall, the integration of AI in the hiring process is all about making things more efficient and improving the candidate experience. So AI really does do a lot with hiring teams. They can focus their efforts on building relationships, finding talent, of doing more of that evaluation of skills to make an informed hiring decision. As AI is advancing, though, it is only going to become more crucial. So whether we like it or not, like Cliff said, it's not going anywhere. Now AI is definitely present in all stages of the recruitment process. Now, now we have ways, and we're going to talk about some of those ways on how we can, as job seekers, use these tools in our job search. So before we get into that, I want to do a quick temperature check. So if you could just get your phones out, take a picture of our Q code here. What is your reaction in using AI? So I'll give you guys a couple of minutes, but you can either go to slido.com and put in this pound 1088817, or you can just take a picture of this QR code. All right, starting to get some responses here. Couple of excited folks. Some cautiously curious folks. I love it. All right. So I feel like about half of you. There we go. No, we got some additional people here. So thank you for letting us know what you think. I'm also kind of surprised to see that nobody is skeptical of it. Because it's kind of like my segue into talking about the ethics of using AI. So certainly, this is definitely an evolving technology. So AI, you can use it, you can leverage it for efficiency and also for personalization. So they can be AI powered tools. Really can be used to help improve efficiency. And really, like there's AI enhanced job search engines, and what that does is it'll allow candidate databases to quickly identify relevant opportunities that can maybe align your skills with experiences. So this is going to be really great and beneficial to you to help you focus your efforts on building connections with the employers rather than getting bogged down with administrative tasks. You can use it for AI powered interviews. Many companies are now using AI powered videos to assess candidates, and those are where you record yourself and send it off to the recruiters for scanning, so you don't actually have any interaction with a human. And all of that can feel a little bit daunting or kind of different, but using these tools, leveraging these tools can have a lot of advantages. AI interviews with the recording, you can prepare your answers ahead of time. You can pick the schedule, right? If they give you a link and tell you have 2 days to do your interview, you can really fit that into your busy schedules. It's important to maintain eye contact, which can be tricky without human interaction, and to just be authentic in your responses. Now, one of the other things to think about is just optimizing your application materials. So it's really important to not rely fully on AI to generate your cover letter or your resume. It's really to help you get past the initial screening. So you certainly, when you have an interview, you do need to still speak about how your skills and experience relates to the job. So you don't want to get caught off guard or anything like that. Use the AI-powered tools to help you find relevant opportunities, and this can help you analyze job descriptions, especially for those of you who are career changers who might be wanting to know how can I find the transferable skills. Um, it's really important when you're thinking about AI is that you want to maintain agency. You don't want to fully automate your job search. There are tools out there that will actually apply for jobs for you on your behalf, and that's just something that we don't really recommend, because you certainly want to be able to speak to the job and have background on it when you are actually contacted for a job opportunity or an interview. Now, there are some ethical considerations. I'm going to go over that in the next slide, but make sure you're being transparent about the decision-making process. So you definitely want to be considering there are products out there that you may not want to use. So use your best judgment. There's a little bit of moral compass here, and also just common sense. So these are some of those ethical considerations. So high tech, high touch. AI isn't always accurate, right? Let me go back to high tech, high touch. Yes, we're going to use technology, but there's going to be a lot of human components. So you want to read through things. You want to make sure it's in your own voice. You want to make sure that whatever it is you're getting out of the AI tool you're using is accurate and speaks to your personal skills and experience. So AI is it's machine learning. So it's not 100% perfect. It's kind of human in a sense because we're not perfect. So make sure that you read through the information. Generative AI can actually hallucinate or generate, just off the wall random information that's not even related to what you ask it for. So definitely doing a high touch and making sure that the material that you or the responses or the generative information you're getting is going to be accurate. AI is biased. As humans are, the output that you get from any generative AI model is actually the machine is pulling that from data. So it's only going to have that data and not have other considerations based on how that particular AI is trained. So not all of the training materials can be trustworthy. And some of that actually comes, the training data comes from humans themselves, and humans have a human bias automatically. So be mindful of the information you share. So any data that you're going to share with generative AI tools, that information is going to be used to train that AI, to train that computer. So you don't want to share personal information or any kind of proprietary data. So like if you're using ChatGPT, you certainly don't want to copy and paste your contact information, your phone number, your email, because you don't want that to be included in the AI as part of a tool or part of data that they use to help other folks. Generative AI is definitely conversational, so think of it as a way to engage. You don't need to accept the first answer, for instance. Like it is going to be back and forth, and it is important for you as the user to get additional feedback. And I'll give you some examples of that when I show you some ChatGPT demonstration. But it is all about follow-up questions to help and to steer the conversation, allowing you to get better results. So kind of thinking about like when you do a Google search, you don't look at the first choice. You look at the sometimes you have to page to the second page to see what other material you can find. So just be thinking about. I know this sounds odd, but use it like you would when you're interacting with somebody, and don't be afraid to push back and ask for better results, if that makes sense. You do want to start with your own work, but I mean, you can certainly use it to draft things for you. But we recommend that you start with your own work and use it as a tool to improve instead of and to create for you. So what I mean by that is instead of just copying and pasting the chat GPT's response, maybe use it as a starting point to brainstorm or enhance maybe drafts that you are working on. Um, Remember that generative AI models, they are trained to pull the most likely answer as opposed to the best answer. So that's where it comes where you need to be very specific in your prompting so that it's going to be more specific to what you're looking for. So if you give it generic prompts, you're going to get a generic answer. So really giving it some details and specifics and pushing back will allow you to get the best out of using these tools. And then of course, we're going to touch on, we're going to probably say this 5 or 10 more times throughout this presentation, review your materials carefully because this is a tool that you can use to help you be, to level the playing field, but there is a lot of human touch that needs to be involved in this process to not only make sure that the information is accurate, but that you don't want to sound like a robot. You want to sound like a human, and that is important when you're looking at using these tools for your job search, your active job search. So we're going to talk a little bit more about benefits. I'm going to turn that over to you, Cliff. Sorry, I went back too far.
Okay, great. Well, simply put, you want to leverage the power of AI to really increase your job search efficiency. It's set up to be not only within machine learning, as Christy was saying, that the systems will learn more and more and become much more intuitive in helping you with whatever you're asking to assist with, but it's also to help with saving time. So, you can use, for example, your existing resume, again, as Christy said, use it as a starting point, to be able to get a more in-depth or more robust example of your resume to use. But with the right tools, you can really tip the balance, hopefully, to your favor. And there are, some pretty critical areas that can help boost your job hunting success. One of those things is being clear and concise, straightforward, like Chrissy said, be specific, but also be clear and concise with what you're asking. You can increase the detail later, or you can ask it to decrease, certain things. And there's that natural language processing, which basically means just tell me what you want to know. Just write it out as though you were talking to your friend. So that can help in that way. It can help you display quantitative results. Now, this is really important, especially with your resume, to show your business impact. So employers, when they're looking at your resume, they do want to know what you did, but they want to know, how did you do it? What was the result of your role in this particular position? So using AI to help you with the quantitative results can also be the second good critical area for helping with your success. And then the third area is knowing what keywords to target for your job applications. Now, that's going to be when you're using, say, ChatGPT and you're uploading your current resume and a job description, ask ChatGPT or any of the other chat bots to pull out keywords that are specific that match your qualifications. And then again, you're using that natural language processing skill set to just tell it what you're looking for and keep working with it so it learns more and more and more as you go. So streamlining this process, again, can help you personalize your job recommendations based on your skills, your experience, and your preferences. This is what we call recommendation algorithms. So the recommendation algorithms help you discover opportunities that align to your career goals, your degree plan that you're currently in, helps you to save time, and increases the likelihood of that perfect match. Now, there is also the benefit of working with other platforms like LinkedIn and even working with your Handshake profile. So if you want to use ChatGPT to help you design and create your about me or your summary of yourself on those online platforms, that's another great use to be able to have the benefit of using AI to your favor. So those are a few benefits that we want to cover today. More are coming, more are being discovered all the time, but we hope that this helps you to see the good use of an AI chatbot search platform to really boost your job search opportunities.
Great. Thanks, Cliff. So now that we've given you a foundation of what AI is and the benefits, now we're going to start to do a little bit of demonstration work. So ChatGPT is probably the easiest to use, and there's a lot of different options. So when I say a lot of different options, this is not an exhaustive list here that I've got here on the screen. But I just kind of wanted to introduce some of the big ones that are out there. Like this includes Google and Microsoft. I really love Perplexity, which is what I love to use. But all of these have different benefits and different goals in mind. So these so like Google Gemini, for instance, the first thing you want to do when you're using any AI tool is you want to use the right tool for the job. So ChatGPT is great for speed. We've got Gemini, Google Gemini, which is great for a live search. Perplexity is the one that I kind of gravitate towards because it has no like text like character limit like some of them do, and it allows for citations because I always want to know where the source is that I'm getting the response from. So I like that in that sense as well. It's like Jose just posted that we get Perplexity for free now, because we have over 500 people from school in it. A lot of these have a free, pretty good free service, and it's constantly evolving. Chat GPT, like OpenAI, is actually it has it gives you the best technology right now. As of July, I believe they did some updates and they rolled out ChatGPT 5, I think, and ChatGPT 4 is the one that they're for free accounts. So, and I think hope it is free for everyone. The Perplexity, I am actually I use Perplexity and I use the Pro, and I don't pay anything for it. And I'll show you a demo in Perplexity shortly. So really, they give you a few of the high the technology, the stuff that they're rolling out, the most recent. They give you 3 or 4 of them a day. You don't get access to the platform for free unless you pay for it. If you are in IT, then you do want to cloud because that will allow you to have basically your own data analysts to give you some good analytics from large sets of data that you have. So really just think about you want to use the right tool for what you're using. If you use either ChatGPT or Perplexity, they both have citations. And Jose says look into it more because we supposedly get a free year for people who are in school, and that I'm not familiar with. But I know that Perplexity will give you the Pro, but you'll for free without signing up for a Pro account. You get like I think it's 3 free Pro searches per day. Now, when you pick the right tool, then there is the prompting part. You do want to be specific, like I explained. If you put in vague information, it is trained to give you the most common answer, not the best answer. So you get real generic results. I always provide context about the inputs and its specific goals for the outputs, and then that way you are really getting the most out of it. This is like talking, like a conversation. So it's not a Google search. You want to be, you want to push back. You want to ask for better responses. If you want the language to be more formal or more casual, let it know. Don't settle for the first thing that comes up. Now, a lot of the information that comes from this webinar is actually from a book called The Expensive Career Coach, ChatGPT. So this is a book that is written by one of the he he's the founder. I think he's the co-founder of Insider Jobs, which is a company that really helps folks with trying to put their best foot forward in the hiring process. Lots of neat things for career coaches, but also for people who are in active job searches. But Jeremy actually also worked for LinkedIn. So I want to just do a real quick demonstration of. Well, before I do that, I'm going to pop in the chat just so folks have it. These chat GPT links. I'm going to send these out to you via email as well, so you can grab them and start playing around with it. But one thing that I got permission from Jeremy Scheffling to share with you all is the Expensive Career Coach Chat GPT, the book that he actually talks about in this book. So he's given us permission to share this with you, and I want to just real quick show you what this looks like. So if you want to follow along, you cannot access it if you're signed into your Google account through WGU. You have to use your personal account because we don't do Google Docs any longer. But if you have a Google account, you should be able to grab this link. And this is from Jeremy's book, and it has a lot of prompts. So it's got the steps. So he's breaking it down to use this for LinkedIn, for exploring what career you want to be in, but also for resume prompts as well. So he's given us permission for our participants to utilize the book or the workbook from his book, which is Expensive Career Coach ChatGPT, and I really encourage you to take a look at it. All right, so that's enough about me talking. Now let's get into the fun, the demonstration. So for the purpose of my demonstration, I do need a volunteer. Is there anybody that would be willing to volunteer for the demonstration? Awesome. Thank you so much, Hope. So I am going to unmute you for the purpose of this demonstration. I don't think I can unmute you though. Oh, there you are. Hi, Hope. How are you doing? I can't hear you. I still can't hear you. Oh, you need your, okay. We'll wait for you to get your headphone mic. And while we're waiting, I am going to get my Perplexity out. And this is what I would recommend that you feel free to follow along. And what you'll do is you're going to, still waiting for Hope, but you can use these prompts on your own. Oh yes, Cliff has given good advice. So Hope, if you can make sure that your audio options are working properly. If you can't figure that out, if you want to just type in what your responses are to these questions. So what this demonstration is going to include is it's going to allow you to take it's going to allow you to find specific job titles that would be a good fit for you based on these responses. So you can be creative here. You can utilize your actual resume that's something I've done before. But for the purpose of
Can you
this
hear me?
demonstration,
My Nexify
I
mic.
yes,
Yeah,
yes, we
there
can
we go.
hear
I
you.
picked I picked my webcam as my mic. I'm so sorry.
Oh, no, that's okay. No worries. Thank you for volunteering. I appreciate it. So I have
Yeah,
put in
absolutely.
here in ChatGPT the prompts that I'm going to ask you. So the first one, what is your major?
I'm majoring in software engineering, and I'm going back for my engineering degree as well.
So I'm going to put software engineering and cloud computing. Is that
Yeah,
accurate? Okay, perfect.
yeah.
And so what is your current or most recent job that you like, the role that you're doing?
So right now I actually work as a caterer for Navy Federal. So I'm a contractor.
Caterer for a local company,
Navy Federal, the bank.
Navy Federal. All right. Did I spell that right? That looks funny.
Caterer. Maybe there's like an ER at the end.
Yeah, that looks funny. I'm sorry. Caterer. Sorry. And all right. So what are skills that you want to use in the job role that you're actively seeking?
Mm, you mean the job that I'm actively seeking, like from my current job?
No, just in
Or
general. From all of your experience, what are the things you want to do in the job that is related to software engineering and cloud computing?
I want to do right now? I'm very, very interested in web development. That's what I'm working on right now. That's my first class right now. So web development is probably my absolute favorite. I like creating things.
All right, and I'll also add that in here too. So web developing and creating things. And then we're going to go ahead and I'm going to take this off of Pro so you guys can see the free version of what this looks like. So I'm going to go ahead and hit enter. And within seconds, this is why I always gravitate towards ChatGPT. We've got all sorts of different career titles. So junior web developer, cloud support associate, software developer intern, junior DevOps engineer, and UI
Mm.
UX design trainee. So I think my first question to you, Hope, is what do you think about this list of careers that you could do based on your most recent role and what you want to do?
I actually kind of like that. I'm a cloud support associate. That's something that I'm a developer. That's what I'm currently going for. And the soft development intern, I'm actually applying for multiple software development internships like currently. So
Awesome.
it's very
So
accurate.
this seems to be like, so if you were trying to figure out what kind of position should I be looking for in my transition, do you think that these are pretty in line with what you've done as far as research goes?
Yes.
So what would you ask as like a follow-up question here to, like let's say you're having a hard time with translating your transferable skills, or do you have a follow-up question that you might want to ask?
Probably. How to apply for an internship, really, because that's what I'm trying to figure out. I've never applied for an internship before. I mean, like
Well,
I'm in the process of like applying this week, and I'm like right now figuring out how to apply for internships. Like this is all. I'm a complete career changer.
I'm going to put that in here just to see what ChatGPT says for the purpose of this demonstration. But there's lots of internships on Handshake, just so you know. I
Oh
am
yeah,
a
I've got it pulled up right here. Actually, going through all of it.
Awesome. I'm going to just put in here just how can I apply for internships? I am a complete career changer, and this is what it's going to do. It's going to now tell me to research internship opportunities, leverage existing skills and experience, be open about your career change, and network, consider returnships or internships, be flexible. The list just keeps going on. So you can, like, one of the things that I would probably do as a career changer is I would ask it, what are some transferable skills I should um, I should highlight on my resume related to catering. And so, but the idea is you kind of see where I'm going with this. You can continue to ask follow-up questions so that you can, and look at the first thing that it says is your customer service, teamwork, communication, time management, things that you probably already kind of knew about. But the idea
Yeah.
is now you can really look at, okay, my problem solving, my adaptability, my attention to detail, even my resilience and my stress management. These are all really good skills that you have as somebody that works in catering services, and how they translate to the world of web development or software development. So I appreciate the volunteering for the exercise and for being our guinea pig. Any thoughts that you want to share before we move on, Hope?
No, I definitely enjoyed this, and I'm probably gonna go back and do this over here on my own. Because I feel like it's helped highlight like all of my skills, like all my baseline, like high skills, like right there, and I can just boop, copy paste.
Yeah, well, and be high touch. Remember, like copy paste, but then make sure you read it and make sure that it's in your
Yeah,
voice.
yeah, go through and you alter and everything. Yeah.
Yeah, I popped the prompts in the chat for you, Hope, so you can try that on your own.
Thank you.
But thank you for participating. I also encourage you all, use your resume. Start with maybe put, instead of my current or most recent job role, my resume, and then paste everything in the experience section so that it knows what your skills are, and then it'll help you translate them into whatever it is you're applying to, either in your field or outside of your field. All right. So that is my magic trick. Thanks again, Hope, for volunteering. And now we're going to move on to some more AI stuff for resume writing. So I'm going to turn that over to you, Cliff.
All right. Thank you so much. Great. So obviously, this is probably one of the number one areas where students would want to use AI. Not only looking at, trying to identify those transferable skills like Christine Hope worked on, but also how can this help with my resume writing? Now, the more practical advantage and benefit is, and I get this a lot from students to say, I don't know where to start as far as that summary of qualifications at the top of my resume. I don't even know what to say about that. So one of the suggestions on using something like ChatGPT is not to try to have it write your entire resume all at one time, but go in sections. So I'm going to use Hope's example. So if I want to be a web designer and I'm getting my degree in software development, software engineering, and web design, then I may want to use those prompts to say, here's a sample job description. How do I write a resume summary to match the key qualifications? And see what that comes up with. So that's one good, practical use of using that. According to JobScan, 99% of Fortune 500 companies are using applicant tracking systems. And those applicant tracking systems are going to look at that summary of qualifications and pick out those keywords. So all of the AI-powered software that really parses through hundreds, if not thousands of resumes, they're doing ones and zeros, right? They're doing a binary yes, no, based on keywords, years of experience, education background, and other specifications that it's going to take into consideration. So most employers, that first round when you are applying to a job, they're scanning those resumes for who fits and who doesn't. So if we go to the next section, the two important parts, two critical things when we're thinking about and when we're doing resume reviews as well, is the aesthetic formatting that features the best parts of what you're offering and how you're applying to the job. So you want to be very careful. In my strict, straightforward opinion, don't go out there and get a template offline and just use it and put it together, because it could use a lot of coding behind that formatting that can mess up the applicant tracking systems. It may not be in the order that employers want to see those today. And if it's scanning for those keywords, you want to make sure that you're going to really have the optimal way of those that match rate to those descriptions. So you want to really be careful. Again, and that's why we offer the resume course that you can go through. That's about 20 minutes before you have a resume review with us. We can act like the high touch part of the high tech, high touch, give you our informed, educated opinion on what works, what doesn't work, recommendations of what to change. Then you could take it to any of the other those resume scanning platforms that Christy talked about to do some of those. And we're going to show you some of that in just a moment too, so that you can go through what does an applicant tracking system look like? How can I do kind of a mock approach to applying to jobs? What will the result be? So you can see how it works. Then if you want to come back to us to say, hey, here's the results, how can I even better make this a more optimized document? Go back to ChatGPT, keep asking those updated, reformed questions, and then that's the high tech, and then the high touch. We'll continue to do some of those reviews with you as well. Right. So here are some of the tools that I just talked about, as far as using them to help you go through kind of that practice. If you went to any of these, you went to Kick Resume, you went to JobScan, Jobalytics, put your resume in, it will do a scan of your resume. Also, you can upload your a job description, and it will compare both of those documents, and it will grade your resume. It will tell you what's legible, what keywords are you matching, is the education related to what the job description is also mentioning, are there missing elements? That all of that can be so very, very helpful as you're putting that through. Now, one other thing about AI and about ChatGPT is a thing that is called hallucinations. Let me describe this for you. So there are times that AI will tend to embellish, make up facts, sometimes not exactly accurate. And Chrissy talked about that just a moment ago. So this is what's called hallucination. And, you know, there may be qualifications that are put on your resume. It's like, hey, I don't have that. Where did that come from? So it's only being able to go through those algorithms in the best way that it can. So you always want to proofread your resume for accuracy, your resume, to make sure it's your voice. Now, it doesn't sound like a robot, and it doesn't sound like how you would create a document for that. So if there are any details or missing areas, this is your chance to be able to correct it, make it personalized, tailored to the job, but definitely something that is who you are, personalized to you. Christy, do you want to talk a little bit about the new big interview resume scan?
Oh, I would love to. Thank you. So I want to actually show you guys what this looks like. So on Big Interview, let me first give you the Big Interview resume copy. And this is just for folks to follow along. So this is Big Interview. Those of you guys who don't know about Big Interview, it is a platform that is primarily used for helping you prepare for interviews. This new feature, we just got it in June, and it's up here at the top, resumes, and this is what it looks like. Resume AI scan. Um, so what you'll do is when you get here, you just hit scan resume, and there are right now 4 different scoring guides. So I would recommend using the one that best fits you. If you're not an IT or teacher, then I would use this professional scoring guide. And when you're in here, you get 5 scans per day. You have an opportunity to download a resume template. But my recommendation here is if you have it, please use a job description. It's that, like generating generic responses or feedback. If you're providing generic details, it will absolutely let you scan your resume without a job description, but I would recommend adding one because it's going to give you more tailored feedback to that job. Now, you'll put it in. You have 5,000 characters, so you're only going to have to paste in what's relevant. So probably the qualifications, and then what will you do? And then you browse your resume. So it takes about 3 to 4 minutes for you to scan a resume. But once you've done that, then you can go up to, here, just a second. I want to make sure I've got Kyle loaded in here, and I just want to make sure that you can only see the one that I want you to see. So basically, when you get into, good thing I have a lot of resumes here to score. Okay, so I've got, this is my own personal resume. So this red bar just means that our office actually updates the scoring guide. So it's just telling me that I have the criteria for the scoring guide has been changed since the scan was last done. But it goes over readability, credibility, ATS fit, and format. There are 3 levels. You can have a bronze, a silver, or a gold. You're trying to get a gold medal here. So to see the detailed feedback, it is quite detailed, and I would really recommend. It'll show you what your resume looks like. And here I actually uploaded just a random document, our action verb document, to see what it would do. But as you can see, it's definitely needing some work because it's missing on a lot of things like summary statement and contact information. So I highly recommend using this tool. It's a great tool to help you prepare for interviews, but it's also a really great tool for resume as well. I kind of want to show you this other one too. I've got this Joblytics, and what it'll do. So it's like an extension for Google Chrome, but what you'll do, Kyle is a test. He's our test student that we use in our job. Our resume, but you can see it's taking whatever's on the screen and it's trying to match it. So ideally you'd be like on a job posting or something for it to work effectively, but it will tell you exactly what you need, and it'll underline the things that you have in your resume in green if you've done it, and red if it is suggesting that you put it in there. So use these tools. They're 24 hours a day, 7 days a week available to you to use. I know somebody asked a question about whether or not we do resume feedback. We definitely do. These are just tools that you can use on your own when you don't have an advisor sitting with you to help you. All right. So do we want to talk about cover letters, Cliff, or do we want to save that?
Just real quick, I don't mind saying real quickly about that because a lot of students will use cover letters still. We know that employers don't require them, and that's perfectly fine. But the employers that I talked to said they will still look at a cover letter if you took the time to write one. And sometimes a cover letter will tip the scales. So when you're using AI, for example, if you're going to use ChatGPT or any other AI platform to create a cover letter, it's going to be very similar to your resume. So you want to make sure you have the job description. You want to make sure that you're telling it in the prompts to write a cover letter, and you can put in your own personal information as well. So it adds that and includes it in there. But some of the specifics is that you want to make sure your cover letter is only one page. So you want to tell it only a one-page document. But going into a lot more detail than we probably can here, I'm going to add this. Are these articles by both JobScan and LinkedIn? I'm going to put these in the chat for you there. And when you have time, look at these articles. They're going to tell you a lot about the use of AI and cover letter creation.
Awesome. And then I just put in the chat too, right above those links, little note about Grammarly. So AI, and I know that this is because people are using AI and they're using this tool. Employers do consider it a flag if they're reading through your application materials and they're hearing AI or they're feeling like this is very generic. So Grammarly, which we all get to use through WGU, is also another tool that you can use that uses AI to catch AI. So there's a whole section on the premium Grammarly that you can also utilize so that you can make sure that you're not sounding too much like AI, because you certainly don't want to have that come across as well. So now this is a lot of detail. We're kind of coming up on time too. So these are just tools for job matching and application. Cliff and I are both going to go into more detail about some more of these tools a little bit later on this month. We've got another presentation, and that one is focused more on job search, AI using it for job search strategies. So folks haven't register for that one, and this is a topic that you're interested in hearing about, we will go into more of these kind of job search tools. So all three of these that I have done research on and experimented with, they will automatically apply for jobs for you if you want it to. Don't recommend using that feature because it's just, you know, when somebody calls you for an interview, you don't want to be caught off guard. So sorry, Kevin, I'm sorry that that's not working. The Career Flow AI. I will send out. Oh, that's interesting. It worked for me when I clicked on it from the PowerPoint. So here, try it from that I just popped in there. So thank you for catching that. So yes, you're going to be getting a recording. I won't send out the slide deck, but I'm going to send out all of these links that we're putting in the chat. These are mostly just for you to grab and experiment while we're here. But all three of these, use it to find the jobs that you take the tediousness out of that in your job search. Get one of these to alert you about the job, but I really don't recommend that you have it apply for you. You want to make sure that you're applying. That way, if you do get an interview, not caught off guard when somebody is calling to schedule. All right. So wrapping up here, these are just kind of some takeaways. I'll start this off by just stating that, AI is definitely here to stay. Use it as you are. ChatGPT or one of the tools that we've introduced to you, but definitely make sure that you proofread and make sure that you're using your own voice, because you certainly want to be taught using AI and then have no invitation for an interview because it sounds too generic and too much like AI generated.
And another takeaway and benefit is that it can be a time saver, but it also can help you really kind of lower the temperature of folks who find some anxiety or stress in the job search experience, the resume writing, all of that, the interview preparation. So hopefully it will help to really give you a little bit of a softer edge when experiencing these during your job search.
Yeah, and I'm going to say it again too. High tech, high touch. these are just some tools. They're constantly, because of the emerging technology, they're introducing us to a lot of new tools for different things. So, uh, you know, play around with them. If feel free to share it with us too. If you find it a tool, you can pop it in the chat here for us to explore, or you can let us know via email or by providing us feedback at the end too with a survey. Just kind of to wrap up, do you have any other takeaways that you want to talk about? I did want to just put in a plug for our AI presentation that I already talked about. I'm going to pop into the chat the registration for basically another round of AI tools related to job search and job search strategies. I'm also doing a working session which is all about interviewing, and working sessions are a little bit different than workshops, but that one's coming up on Tuesday, September the 17th. I'll pop that in the chat as well.
Yeah, I think one of the last things, again, don't rely on AI or ChatGPT for everything. It's only to get you started. But something I wanted to echo that Christy said, for crowdsourcing, if you come across something you think might benefit us or might benefit your peers, send it over to us. Just email us at careers@wgu.edu. The more you're out there also discovering more new and developing and emerging technologies, I think we can all benefit from that.
And thank you, ripplematch.com.
Thanks, Josh.
And Doug. So yes, those are two great ones, and that we're going to actually, those are two that I have in the next presentation. And I believe that would be, when is our next presentation, Liv? It is on October 3rd. No, it's not. Sorry. More to come on that one, because there's one on the 17th.
October 17th or September 17th. When does that one?
September 17th. That one's I think it's next Tuesday. That one is a working session, so come prepared to work. Bring your resume. I'm going to send out some like pre-working session, but that's a very small group, and hopefully you'll have some things to take away with you when you finish that workshop. That one you do have to attend live, but Cliff and I were going to do another workshop where we're providing content and sending out a recording, and that is a little bit later on in the month of September. So hopefully you had an opportunity to answer your questions. I'm just going to go over this last slide real fast. If you want to grab a picture of this, that's our survey. We'd love to hear from you. So if you have any other tools that you want, that you know about, feel free to include those in the survey. If you have questions, you can always email us, and we have drop-in hours. We've got one-on-one appointments, and we do have our website, which has a lot of extensive resources that you can take a look at as well. But thanks for joining us today. Thank you so much, Cliff, for your expertise.
You're welcome.
And enjoy the rest of your week, everyone. Take care.
Thanks, everyone.